I think it was. That's what Chad doing.
So you ready to go, Julie? He does have an appointment for next week to get new, which call
Are you good? Yeah. 6 p.m. Let's go ahead. I'll call the meeting to order. I'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
There. Lawson.
He's gone.
Excused. Reister.
Here.
Wyatt.
Here.
Cook.
Here.
Tool.
Here.
Okay. Do I have a motion to approve tonight's agenda?
So moved. Second, third, whoever.
All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to approval of the consent agenda. Before again, anybody have any questions? Okay, do I have a motion then?
So.
Second.
All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Mayor's comments or accommodations. Want to welcome everybody here tonight again. Thanks for being here. We'll move into citizens' requests and oral presentation. I'm going to start with reading a memo here from Dan Bropes. He says, my name is Dan Bropes and I live at 115 Carmela Drive, Hudson, Iowa. I have served on the Hudson City Council for 10 years, mayor for 10 years, and over 20 years serving on various committees and boards. In the beginning of 2025, the city of Hudson realized they had a cash flow issue and immediately borrowed on some operational monies, revisited past projects for bonding, and made significant adjustment in the 2025 budget, as well as the 2026 budget. I attended several budget meetings and I do not remember any proposed salary increases for fiscal year 2026. Last week, I asked Mayor Bunz for clarification regarding FY26 salary increases for Hudson City employees. Mayor Bunz stated that the only employees that received increases were the unionized police officers. She did clarify that dependent upon the future condition of the budget, there may still be consideration for salary increases. My remarks are brief. I do not have any issue with Chief Banks receiving a salary increase. That is your decision. However, at this time, I believe it should be postponed until the council makes a decision regarding a salary and benefit package for all city employees. Okay, then I believe Calvin. And if you want to state your name and your address.
Calvin Boyka, 3827 West Rhinebeck Road. I realize I'm not in the city limits, but this is my hometown and I support a lot of the businesses in town. And my comments are about the parking issues uptown. There are times when you come through town and there's not any parking spots. And I understand that some of the employees and the business owners park in front of their business, and that takes even more spaces away from customers. You would think they'd be concerned about. I know we got a lot of empty space out here, or wasted space. If the city could work with the business owners to maybe get them to park out back, or if we could configure something out here to make it accommodating for parking out there, I think it would be a good idea.
Next person is Debbie.
I'm Debbie Larson at 109 Terrace Drive here in town. On the same line as Dan Gross, the action on tonight's agenda is the implementation of 3%. And I looked at the resolution, but it doesn't tell me if this is a 3% increase, and I'm questioning why when we can't get real numbers. And I would like it postponed. And if you're going to give a 3% raise, it should go across the board. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Does anybody else have anything? Okay, we'll move into committee reports. Lori, we've got admin, personnel, finance.
Oh, golly, I do
Or-
not have it in front of me.
Okay. I don't have it. No, I just did for August 25th and September 22nd.
Let's see here. Here is right.
Well,
Here,
the,
they're in the packet that she sent
Yeah.
this afternoon. Do you want me to read the ones from the 25th? Would be fine with me if you're ready to do Stewie. If you find the ones from the next one, I'll summarize this one because it's right in front of me. On the next one.
September 22nd.
All right, this one is the admin personnel, finance personnel committee met August 25th at 4:45. This was called to meeting by Lori Sewell. They were the members present, Mayor Buns, Todd Henderson, Councilperson Sewell, Councilperson Cook, and Mike Youngblood. 24-hour notice was posted. They first discussed the deputy clerk position. There were 7 applicants. The interview panel did 4. They chose to hire Ashley Siebel. She started on August 26th at full-time, 40 hours per week, $20 per hour. That was motioned and passed, which is good because she works here now. The next item of business was the police officer positions. Mayor Buns recommended the committee to post for 1 full-time and 1 part-time officer, which was already budgeted. I don't know what that was. Which was already budgeted for those wages. It was discussed the department is down 2.5 positions. Mayor Buns motioned it, Youngblood seconded to post for 1 full-time and 1 part-time officer. Mike Youngblood motioned and to recommend a 3% increase for Chief Banks, feeling concerned that the wage gap within the department is closing in and the cost of inflation, seconded by Councilperson Cook. After discussion, it was deliberated the increased workload for the police has been considerable, along with the wage gap closing between him and his staff and the cost of living restraints. It was voted on, ayes 3, nays was Mayor Buns, and Henderson abstained. Third agenda item was to discuss Park and Rec Director position. Buns clarified that this is a replacement position. There will be 2 positions. They're replacing 2 positions with 1 at $10,000 annually. This would be advertised and interviews will be done. Henderson motioned to post the position and seconded by Youngblood. Chairperson Sewell explained that the city currently has no password protection software and recommends we purchase a subscription to Bitwarden. After discussion, there'll be more research into the number of employees who would need to use the software and what the size plan would be. Motion by Youngblood, second by Henderson to adjourn the meeting at 5:14.
Any questions on this minutes?
I haven't been able to locate.
We can't find the September 22nd ones.
I'll send them right now.
Okay.
Lori, you have your email open? What email should I send it to?
Lori.sewell@sewell.com.
Were you at the meeting, Julie?
Which one?
This one that you're sending minutes for?
Yes,
Can you just summarize it?
no, not off the top of my
No, I
head.
mean with the minutes in
Put
front
the
of you.
minutes in front of you.
Can't you just read it back?
Oh, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
You don't remember?
Yes, no, I don't remember off the top of my head.
Did you read?
Uh,
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
That would be impressive.
It's nice. Did you read? She said, no, we're in trouble.
Okay, so. We did. We had a presentation from SKS Connect. They discussed the consultation services that they offer, which is trying to help us get, what would be the word, technical assistance for phones and internet and IT type things. And then we just let them know if we were interested to have them look into things a little further. The next item, that was discussed was, moving the building inspector, Steve Jordan, from part-time to full-time status. Mayor Buns explains that he's not going to use the city's insurance benefits, but would like to receive paid holidays and vacation. He has been a city employee since 2017 and was hired at a time when part-time employment made sense. Since that time, the growth throughout the city has been considerable, and he has been working 40 hours a week for several years without the benefits of the role. Cook and Bunn's motion to recommend to council to move for this employee to have full-time status. Chairperson Sewell explained that the city currently has no password protection, and we agreed to look further into that and move forward with just going ahead with Bitford. And we adjourned at 5:20.
Any questions on that meeting? Okay. We'll go ahead and move into general government. Item A, requests from Admin, Personnel and Finance Committee recommending a 3% increase in wage for the police chief.
I move that we reject this recommendation.
I second.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Cook,
Aye.
Sewell,
Aye.
Reister,
Aye.
I can't say it all of a sudden, Wyatt,
Aye. Okay, motion carries then 4-1.
4-1.
I'm sorry, 4-0.
Okay. Okay. I was,
I wrote it down. I
Did we skip B then?
think we need to reject it, or how do we don't table it?
You don't table it, it fails.
Okay,
For
For a lack of a, it fails for a lack of a motion. Yeah, because no one's making a motion to set his compensation higher, correct?
We just did
Because you just rejected the option, so it fails for lack of a motion.
Item C then, request from Admin, Personnel and Finance Committee recommending making the building inspector a full-time employee effective October 4th of 2025. And again, like Julie explained, he would then get holiday pay, vacation and sick time, and then the life insurance policy that we have for all city employees. Do I have a
so moved.
Second.
I'd like to hear more from personnel admin about this. I'm not necessarily a hard no on it.
Okay.
I just need a little more convincing.
My understanding is that he's been putting in the hours for a full-time employee. If that's what the demand is.
So is he getting paid full-time? Even though
Yes.
he's technically part-time?
Gets paid
He was getting paid hourly for 40 hours a week,
Right.
and that,
Or whatever.
and the numbers historically look like that for
Yes.
a matter of years now. Okay.
And so would it still be an hourly wage for full-time?
Yep.
But he would get these additional things, which are, can you say them again?
Holidays, vacation and sick, and then the $20,000 life insurance policy that each city employee has.
He's not electing to take medical.
Right.
Was it legal for us to not give him that stuff?
That's what
Yeah,
I,
know
he
he's
was
working
classified-
full-time.
He was classified as part-time,
Part-time.
so, yeah.
when he was hired, he was classified as part-time.
Okay.
Does this affect his,
So can I do that at the fireworks store? Cause.
no,
I'm gonna- Okay.
especially to your children? No. Does this affect his IPERS at all?
No.
Going from full,
Same thing.
part-time to
Same thing,
full-time?
yeah.
Cause it's based off hours
Yeah,
worked anyway, right?
Based off of what his wages are,
Yeah.
IBERT is done different for classifications.
So,
I feel like it's the right thing to do when somebody's putting in 40-hour work weeks.
He works hard
Yeah.
and he knows a lot.
I'm sorry, it's just discussion here at the council during this time. Thank you.
Is there a way to monetize what we're adding?
Oh, that the costs related to the life
Cost of the benefit
insurance.
Package, which is the
What
life
else?
insurance,
And the holiday and vacation.
the holiday and vacation
Sick
pay
time.
that he wasn't already getting paid.
Do you know what's right off the top of your head?
Oh, here.
Cause there's 11 paid
And,
holidays,
and
right?
obviously if it's $20,000 policy, it's,
Minimal.
Minimal.
So we have 11 paid holidays, or 13?
3412.
Do we have 11 paid holidays or 13 in the city?
It's a lot. I don't know. I think it's a 12.
12? I was right in the middle,
So 12 times 8 times this.
times 34.41 or something like that. So you're talking $3,300 a year plus.
And then what's the life insurance monthly?
I actually,
Pretty annual.
I just,
300.
I don't know per
I know.
person. I don't know that
Okay.
it spells that out
$96 a year.
for us on the,
No, it doesn't, and we would have to look at a bill.
yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, it can't be $100.
No. if
The
that,
life
I
insurance
think it's
premium
more like,
is-
yeah,
Yeah,
Those options are really,
yeah, the cost,
the group
the
plan,
cost is the holidays and
the sick and
the sick and
Yeah.
every time, yeah.
other. So, roll call?
I just had that one as a motion, but we can do roll call.
Oh, okay,
I think
mean-
Lori seconded.
I
it.
second
Just a
yeah.
motion.
we should probably do roll call on it.
I think it's close, yep.
What's that?
If you think it's close, like if you're not gonna be able to tell the ayes from the nays, then yeah, you can do a roll call, or you can just say all in favor in here, but she needs to say any opposed and ask the opposed out loud.
I don't, it doesn't have to be a roll call.
Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye,
Aye.
and opposed? All right, motion carried. Okay, item D, resolution 3391 to approve ACOM to serve as the City of Hudson Planning and Zoning Administrator.
I'll make a motion to approve so we can get it on the
Okay.
table to discuss.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have Mark here from ACOM tonight to answer questions for us on this. We did go back and talk to him as to, we couldn't get a specific hourly rate because it depends on the person who is doing the work for us. So they have different rates for different.
Is
staff
there an
members.
average rate?
So,
I mean, obviously, if it's a street reconstruction versus a bridge reconstruction, that's two different complete everything, you know, I get that, but is there an average?
Yeah, I would say the ranges of our employees that are gonna be working on it would be between $70 and $150 an hour for the work that they would do. And that's the multipliers and everything. That would be the rate that this city Hudson will see. As far as,
Do you have a question before I ask the next one?
go ahead.
My question, when we looked at when I made the motion last week to postpone this until this meeting, it's not for the project engineering. It's not really engineering
right,
that we've been
Yes.
doing with you in the past. But we have not used ACOM as a specific zoning administrator.
right.
So
Yep.
it's the bookwork part, I think, is what I'm questioning, what the hourly rate is as far as attending the meeting, doing all of that, to do the actual, get the zoning paperwork in place. You know, there's a big difference between $75 an hour and $150 an hour, and we're talking about that portion of
Yeah.
it.
So
And that's where I was
Yeah,
concerned.
so that the employee that we, and I don't know exactly what, we have an employee that's, that we're targeting or gonna be used for this, and he has been doing work for the city of Hudson. Mike Cherry's had some prior experience working in Waverly as the city engineer there. He has got extensive experience looking at city codes and deciphering things and so forth. So he has been in a pretty good position of kind of going through the code. And what he does, he goes and creates a memo and identifies the city code items that apply. And, you know, kind of gives a description of, you know, whether it's a difficult decision, but a lot of times it's been pretty, you know, not controversial what he's been doing. But there's a few that takes a little bit of a judgment call just because of the way the code is written. But he does a really good job of laying it out, describing it, providing a synopsis for staff to look at. His rate is generally at the higher end of that 150, so he's gonna be closer to that 150 range. Just because of his experience and so forth. So we have some of our inspectors that, you know, do some of the inspection for, the MS4 city, the erosion control stuff that, can be typical for community development. That would fall under community development is to try to inspect those subdivisions to make sure there's acceptance there. And so those rates are a little bit lower. Those be closer to that $70 rate.
So Gil, can you answer me this? So if someone comes in and wants to split their R6 lot into R3 lots or whatever the case may be, right? To divide it, and we need a zoning update change to do that. At $150 an hour, that seems like a pretty high amount to do something like that. Now, I don't know, obviously, how often that would come up. But is that something that basic minimum stuff our staff could still do?
In which Steve has been doing.
Okay,
So he's been doing some basic things, such as, setbacks and those types of things, but he would probably, he might consult a little bit with, with staff.
His work does streamline things quite a bit for the effort that we would have.
Yeah.
So,
so basically, we would be using ACOM for the more in-depth projects, not just.
It seems to sound, it's an on-call basis.
Yep.
Is what it's drafted
just
as. The
the-
contract actually says it's an on-call
So
basis.
if it's above Steve's head, he could call them, or he could consult his supervisor first
Correct.
prior to calling
He
them.
could.
Who has done this for us prior to now?
Well, Chrissy was our
Chrissy.
city administrator with the planning.
Okay, that's what I
and
thought. Yeah.
she-
And so she could handle all that, cause that was the whole deal of getting her licensed,
Her
and
master's
educated
degree.
to get
yep,
this next.
education.
So we're filling a hole left by Chrissy.
Correct.
And we don't have somebody who's a city administrator certified, right? We have,
Yeah,
That was not the job description.
right. I'm just making sure I understand.
Yeah.
How often do you think something happens around here that is above Steve's head?
well, lately.
so I would say, sorry if I
No, go ahead, yeah.
So one of the things that, it has been fairly, we probably had, in the last month, we've had probably 2 or 3 come across. But I would say only one was fairly complicated, which was the Dean Lee, plat. And so we had to kind of look at that a little bit more detail and, because that one was a unique case because it's one of the first, subdivisions that is requiring a maintenance agreement, which that's great. I think but it's the first one, right? So we're making sure we're getting it right. Heather's helped out quite a bit on that one as well. We have a deed of dedication that set up an HOA on that one. And that was, that's fairly, for that size of a subdivision, that's kind of unique as well. And that HOA or the owners association is determining the maintenance that's needed because it's gonna be a subdivided lot. And it's just an example of what some of the reviews we're making. But just the long and short of it is that is a little bit more complicated, but it's been fairly rare to have that type of a complicated situation occur. So the smaller ones, generally, Mike helps and he probably has a half hour to an hour to look over this. And he turns those around pretty quick.
And is the cost of this absorbed by the city or is it
Yeah.
passed on to the developer?
It is,
Or by the city.
Don't we have when there's something in the contract says something like a $20,000,
They have a $25,000,
Up
like
to,
we
Like
up
you
to
put it in,
25, and then
shall
they'd
not-
have to come
right.
back if there's more hours needed.
Right.
Yeah, shall not exceed.
So, and I will say is that we have this is a general community development. We provide services for plat reviews, but they're more on an engineering basis. Here we're looking at a broad range of things that the zoning administrator would have handled, like setbacks and some of the requirements that are needed for the subdivision that are more city related as opposed to engineering related. And so now we're just broadening our purview and review of those plats. So our original budget was around 15,000. So we increased it to 25 this year, just because of the increased responsibility. So we generally have a $15,000 contract with you guys anyway. And so this is a renew of that 15,000. We just increased it to 25 this year.
And that doesn't mean we spend that. That
No.
means
Right.
we have the option up to that before we have to come back. and
Right,
review
and
things.
I generally like to make sure it lasts at least a year, but
Right.
it's been generally longer than that. So.
Right. Would there be a possibility in the future, and this is again, something that I would task personnel admin finance with, of exploring potential cost sharing between maybe another city of Hudson size to share some sort of a zoning administrator that could be more cost effective? A LaPorte, a Traeger, or somebody like that, that would have a split time zoning administrator. And it's just something that I would, kind of just throw out there that could be an option for multiple communities of our size.
Sure.
So not that we don't need to do this in the meantime until we can develop that, because we still have to do the zoning stuff to be able to develop and to be able to grow the city. But, again, I hate to see somebody spending more than we need to.
I'm appealing to Steve's conscientiousness. What incentives does he have to do the simpler work and only pass on the harder stuff so that,
He's just been very willing to do it,
great,
not asking for anything except for making him full-time.
Yeah.
So,
I actually brought that up.
yeah,
I'm like,
Actually.
what? Part-time.
Well, and also, there should be reviews done eventually to be able to review.
Yeah.
Job performance.
now, Mark, we talked on the phone this morning,
Oh,
I had
sure.
one concept, you had another
Yep,
concept,
no, I think what it was is that I was a little nervous, about signing
yes,
being a representative and signing. And so when we looked at the information that we would be signing, it's more for the actual permit. It's not like, it's not like a legal document.
yeah.
It's like you're approving of the information shown on here and that the route that they're taking. As a zoning administrator, would approve this to go to the next step. So
So-
we were okay with that.
you're okay with that, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So we looked it over and, yeah, so, yeah, I was just a little nervous.
That's all right. That's all right,
Me too.
so, any other questions, discussion? Roll call?
Wyatt,
Bye.
Cook,
Aye.
Tool,
Aye.
Lawson, not here, Reister.
Okay, motion carries 4-0. Okay, next we're gonna have discussion on the Moody's rating review, really included in your packet then that we have been downgraded to a Baa1 from an A3. They kind of talked kind of what our credit strengths were, our credit challenges, also factors that could lead to an upgrade. And so it's just basically the last 2 to 3 years of the audits have shown some major declines in the fund balances and negative fund balances. But the 2025 audit should show some improvement to those fund balances as there was a reimbursement of the projects through the bonding that we did. And so I wanted to make you aware of that. And they said that obviously, we'll have some stronger budget management and some improved financial reporting that will lead to them taking a look at our rating again.
Faster you can close out 25 and get your audit complete for 25 to confirm the fund balances at the close of 25. Faster you can get that information to Moody's and we could contemplate a rate change.
So, and we kind of knew, just like any borrowing a mortgage, your rate changes. I will say, from being involved in some of the early calls before the Moody's change, there was a downgrade last year.
I
Last fall?
believe there was.
That nobody that was on that call, including the mayor, our financial advisor, anyone was aware of. There was, there was one person that I said one person that was on the phone call.
It's our understanding.
It's
your
my
previous
understanding.
City clerk participated in a Moody's rating call and did not inform
The rest of it.
anyone that that
Right,
call
exactly.
occurred.
So
Let me guess, October?
somewhere around
I don't
there.
know when the call
Yeah.
was, and Maggie wasn't part of it. Our financial advisor didn't know about that call either.
No, so at this time, kind of to us, it did catch off guard, but
Yep.
again, this is something that we have taken the steps to right the ship at this point. The baby steps, we're continuing to take those baby steps to continue to right that ship. And hopefully as soon as we can get this one closed out, and there's another item on the agenda for the investigative audit. Once we can get that completed, that could change hopefully fairly quickly.
When is our 2025 audit due to be
Already done.
completed?
We haven't even taken the steps to start it. That's what we're gonna have a discussion here on the next.
Like our regular one?
Actually, it's, and
Or that's what it was, we're waiting on an audit, aren't we?
2024 we got.
We got that one.
Okay, recent.
I wanna have it redone, and that's why I'm.
With
Okay.
the
Yeah, so that's some of the discussion that
2 months.
she wants to,
And I think you want to contemplate a different service provider.
I'm gonna use the state.
Yeah.
yeah.
I thought we
So-
already have this approved. Well, go on, just right.
Yeah. go
I
ahead.
don't have a
Alright.
dollar amount. We'll talk about it in a minute.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Okay, any other discussion then on Moody's? Any questions?
What does that mean in real, like, what, in practical terms?
In practical terms, if you were to go borrow money, it impacts the rate you would get if you were to go borrow money. Thankfully, we got the money borrowed before that impacted it, and you have no plans to borrow more money in the future or in the immediate future. So you have time now to change that rating
Got it.
before you borrow money again.
It does not affect the current rates that we have
Doesn't,
anything
correct.
at. Those are set, done.
Yep.
And will not change unless we change them by refinancing.
Right. Which is why it was so very important for us to get that bonding done before the close of June 30, 2025, and which is why Maggie worked as hard as she did in order to get that done.
Item F, request from city clerk to make a formal request for a full investigative audit from the state of Iowa auditors.
So what I want to do, the fiscal year 24 audit was done by the company, and that was the last fiscal year that we were in the software that worked, right?
Correct.
So and any time that anybody leaves a city clerk position and you get a new clerk, it's very customary to get a full audit just to save face for the person coming into that role.
Mhm.
And with, with things, I would like to get a full audit and investigative audit done for fiscal year 24 and then one for fiscal year 25. I would just want to go straight from one into the other. I'm waiting to hear back from the state. They're pretty slow at getting back about it, so I'm wondering, with the government shutdown, I'm not really sure if that's bogging it down, but I know, in Elk Run, they were trying to get the audit in August, so, and that's an exam, it's a much smaller scale, so I'm waiting to hear back, but I just want permission to move forward. It's gonna be expensive. I'm gonna say around $30,000, and that's just a guesstimation.
For each year?
Yeah.
Okay.
We did have a motion that was done because we have an agreement to have creative planning.
I want a full audit done by
This
the
is a
state.
full.
I want a full audit done by the state.
Okay, but hold on, that's what this is their investigative audit to go back into the fund balances. Because when I spoke with Sonia Heithusen and Rob Stan's office, their full audit will not go back into each individual fund balance to check where the funds go and come from. It will be the overview, just like we have, and we have to tell them that this is what I want re-audited, and this is what we're pointing at when we do a formal re-audit.
So that's why I knew that they wanted direction on where to go, and they don't know what direction to
Correct.
go. So that's why if we request a full audit for fiscal year 24 from the state, they'll dig into every avenue and all of the areas, and we don't have to
Do they
try to
use-
pick and choose.
Sorry to interrupt, does the state actually use the word investigative audit?
I don't know, and I actually asked when I emailed
Was it Sonia?
the representative that I've worked with in the past. what the difference is, but she didn't actually, just said she was gonna forward the request to the higher ups, and I have not heard back from anyone since then, but I did ask the difference between, and if it is a thing. So I'm hoping to hear back from somebody soon to have an idea. I know in 2019, it was like, I'm thinking around $19,000 to have a full audit done.
Okay, so this is from the, one month here, because I have it on here. What day is this? February 24th meeting. Down here we go. Councilperson wanted to contact the state auditor's office to request a second audit at that time. I spoke with Sonia Heitzhus, and the state's auditor's office gave me two options. The first option was to request a re-audit of 23. There would be no cost to the city and would be paid for by the auditor's office. That is where we would have to point them in the right direction as far as which portion we wanted to do. The second option is to hire the state auditor's office to do a full audit for FY24 in addition to the current audit. We have already requested the 23. The city's current auditor recommends a re-audit of 23. There was a discussion on hiring another CPA firm to do the full audit because of the amount of time it could take for the state to do this. The city council and attorney discussed possible deeper dives and what an auditor could be looking for. Then at that time, we contacted CPA firms to be doing this full investigative financial audit. And then that would have been the 24th. So the next meeting, I'm fairly certain it was the next meeting.
I think you authorized creative planning,
We authorized creative planning.
but it was only for a limited thing.
For kind of more of a forensic, it's like, they wanted to say, okay, they wanted us to say, we want you to look at this, we want you to look at that, and we would have to provide that to them.
They
if I
wanted,
remember.
yeah, they took our fund balances, our bank reconciliations, and would take specific, I don't want to say purchases, specific line items and follow them through to make sure that they was not only, because from my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong. Mark, you might have had some dealings with this as well, that the state audit is gonna say, this fund came from this fund, was in the appropriate fund where it came from, but not necessarily track back a check was cashed, this check went to this correct place, whatever the case may be. Whereas the creative planning would get more into the financial, actual accounting portions of it.
Okay.
So that is what we had tried.
Motion. Creative planning.
Now I'm trying to find that. Okay, so motion by Reister, seconded by Sewell to hire creative planning to complete independent audit for 21 to 22, 22 to 23, 23 to 24, and 24 to 25. The estimated cost was $10,000. Lawson asked if creative planning could also include 2019 and 20 and 2020 to 21, and what the cost would be to add those. The scope of work still needs to be determined, and creative planning should be asked what their recommendation is. So we did approve up to $10,000 for that. And that was during the
And I think that stalled because we.
March 10th meeting.
It stalled because we needed a body to provide them with all of the statements that they
Correct.
wanted.
We gave them the bulk of it, but it just needs to be reached back out to say, okay, now what do you need to complete this?
Okay.
So those are, I mean, options that we've got here.
The conversation, as I remember it, was the reason we went with creative planning is because, like, I think you mentioned, the state auditor's office was gonna take so long. Whoever, there was somebody who talked to us from that side of the table, I don't remember who, was explaining stuff to us. And, they said that it could take up to a year for the state auditor's office to do an audit. And we were like, we're not waiting a year. Well, I think we had in mind that we would have this forensic thing done by creative planning by,
Now,
certainly by the end of the summer. Which is why we moved that direction, because I remember us talking timelines, like, well, this needs to happen sooner than later. Well, now it's, that was before we understood this G-Works deal where we don't even know what our real numbers are. And so would we, knowing what we know now, do the same thing then? I don't know. I think it's obvious that we need to have as thorough an audit as possible as far back as reasonable. And so if the state auditor's office is the one to do that most effectively, then I'm certainly open to that. I just want to make sure that we're of the things we've already talked about, that this is all before you were here, so you're not
Right.
aware of all this
Yeah.
discussion we're talking about.
Right.
So,
We already paid Creative Planning
Yeah,
$10,000.
No, not the
Not
10,000. From the original one, I think it was 3,500.
Something like that. We
Yeah.
had them go through to verify that in
It was-
that 12-month period, there was
Yeah.
no miss,
My memory was we were looking for, was there any criminal activity that they could find in
Correct.
12 months prior?
and they found none.
And they found
Yeah.
none.
So then we
And we went back
decided to
even
go
on
back
the farm.
further, because again, what it was the state audit will do, this fund balance was used correctly, this fund balance was used correctly. Whereas the creative planning would go further in depth into each transaction to be able to track it and make sure that not only was it done correctly, it was issued correctly, it was done this way, the funds went where they were supposed to go. Not that I'm opposed to doing either one of these things, I just want to make sure that we're going in the right direction for what we need to. And if, if we direct Julie to get more information from Brian and the creative planning team.
if I were in Julie's shoes, I'd be asking for the exact same thing. And
Oh, absolutely.
I've heard from plenty of residents and citizens like, hey, when is this happening? Like, you guys talk about this audit in February and we haven't done it. And so I understand that pressure too.
Well, our world changed after.
Yeah.
So how does the G-Works issue play into us moving forward on this? I mean, something's gotta give, right? Because we can't sit here in this state forever. But where are we on G-Works? I mean, if we do move forward on this, are they gonna be able to get what we need out of G-Works?
I don't know.
Huh?
I don't know.
Well,
That's kind of why I
something's gotta
wanted the
give.
2024 done first, so we can get real numbers.
So
And then go into 25, because that's when everything went, everything, the
Wow.
tracking and the clarity. Like, for me to be able to get clear numbers and be able to see things, once we went into this thing, it's so foggy and you can't, I don't know how
So-
it'll go. I don't know
when
how.
you say 24, what you mean is like, July 1st, 23
Mhm.
through June 30th, 24.
Correct.
And that so we didn't have G-Works prior to June
You-
30th,
you-
24?
You had the Simple City, so they started
The old
switching
version of
over
G-Works.
into. I think everything stopped here in, let's go here. I think it was July 1st of, it's not gonna let me.
I was thinking we switched over to the new one in October.
That was the
That was just
utility bill.
utility billing.
We'd been already.
It was different phases. It went over in phases. I think she was doing some stuff in the new software, in the spring of 23.
That's what we're seeing kind of. in
Yeah,
the-
it seems like there was, but the bulk of it was July
And the accounts
1st,
payable.
2024. So that's when the actual. That's when the switch happened. So that would be, for 24 is what I want to see. It won't let me go.
And I'm perfectly okay with getting the state audit done. I also think though that we need to at least explore I'd like somehow to, if we need to do the forensic accounting, there's more forensic accounting, not overall auditing, is what the creative planning issue was.
And if we don't have numbers, and we haven't, and I don't know if we're gonna get them, but this is a separate thing in the audit perhaps. But could somebody be hired? I'm not an accountant, I don't really know what I'm talking about right now, but from whatever time that we're confident things were right, can we start there and just go through every bank account that we have and just start tabulating stuff and counting stuff and coming up with where we should be based on what the bank accounts say? Does that make sense?
In theory, it makes sense. Because his bank account is one big fat amount of money. But in the accounting software, that is divvied up into all of these little sections. So I can tell you, yeah, everything balanced up until this point, but that amount of money and where it goes is the problem. Like, I can't tell you
What categories it goes into? Is that what you mean?
general fund, streets,
Yeah.
water, sewer, local option sales tax, TIF.
Yep.
It's all divvied up. So we have this big pot of money and it can all balance, make sense, but knowing where all that pot of money goes and how it's,
Basically internal
and it's
accounting.
legal,
Yeah.
legally, you have to be able to say where this money is. I can't just say, okay, I think this amount should go here and this
Right,
amount should go
yeah.
there, and that, there lies the problem.
Especially with local option sales tax and road use tax and.
Yeah.
So it doesn't sound like you know that the state audit is an investigative audit.
And that's what I wanna see, cause I'm wondering with the situation at hand, if they're going to handle it a different way. Because I know when the state reviewed our audits from whoever did our audit, I believe there were comments made that they might be reaching out to do more looking into it.
The reason I highlight that question is because what I'm hearing you all talk about that you want to do is not necessarily what we know for sure the state audit is going to get done.
Right.
Not the normal state audit anyway,
Correct.
process, yeah.
Correct.
So I think I would generally say I'm way in favor of the general idea that Julie is bringing. I don't know if I'm ready to sign off on this specific thing.
Correct, 'cause you don't know what it really is.
Right.
So, and that's what I would recommend is that,
We have talked to
the next meeting, yeah, we have another discussion and she can update us with what we have and then we can go from there and,
So I think you can be confident that we're on board generally.
Yeah.
But
So,
and I think that's just what she needed.
Yeah.
was a little.
Can we table this motion then?
make a motion to table it.
I'm the one that made the first. Do I need to do like a friendly motion to table
Or
then?
you can make a motion to amend, sure.
I would make my motion to amend that we table this to the next meeting. And hope to have more information.
second,
Okay, any other discussion? And, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Bye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carried. Let's move on to item G, resolution 3392, setting the date of public hearing to approve the final plat of the Dean Lee Business Park, Phase 2 minor plat, Hudson, Iowa.
So move.
And this is just setting the public hearing.
For what date?
It would be
The 27th,
Yep.
sorry.
October 27th.
I'll second.
All right, discussion? Roll call?
Aye.
Cool,
Aye.
Reister?
Aye.
Wyatt?
Aye.
Motion carries. Information items in the packet, police report, library report, and the building inspections permit listing. Regularly scheduled meetings, Public Works will be October 15th at 7 a.m. Personnel admin, October 27th at 4:45, Public Safety Committee meeting, October 30th at 4 p.m. Next two council meetings will be Monday, October 27th and Monday, November 10th, both at 6 p.m.
so I move to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
My gosh.
Jenny. You can hear a second.
How's gonna be your question? Are you gonna be here in the morning?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yep.
because, Jeff